Hey guys, and welcome finally to my first ever makeup tutorial. For my first look, I didn't want to go too dramatic with it or do something crazy. I just wanted to keep it really simple and really clean. So I'm basically going to be doing my go-to daytime look. It's the look I go to when I'm just trying to get out the door really quickly. So for those of you who have crazy work schedules and school schedules, this is a look that you can do literally in 10 to 15 minutes and you'll be out the door. The really cool thing about this look is I will be transitioning it into an evening look, and I'll be doing that without having to take anything off. For most of you, I know this is probably the first time you're even hearing me speak. For a lot of you, I'm probably just a face you see on Instagram. So I did record an About Me video, so if you want to learn a little bit more about myself and my career as a makeup artist, definitely check that out and hopefully you'll learn something new about me. Without further ado, let's get started on this look. I've already prepped my skin with some moisturizer, eye cream. You want to make sure you're really hydrated, especially when you want this look to last you into the evening. So next I'm going to go ahead and go in with a primer. I'm going to be using NARS Pro Prime Instant Line and Pore Perfector. It looks like this. I love it because it's in a little stick form, so it makes it really easy to apply. I don't like to put primer all over my face. I like to just focus it on the areas that need it and mostly down the center. This primer is especially great for when you have a little blemish. You can just go right on top and just really smooth that area out. So next we're going to go in with our foundation. Today I'm going to be using NARS Sheer Glow, and I'm going to be mixing two shades, one that's really pink, one that's really yellow. I never just apply the foundation, I always mix in some sort of illuminator. Today I'm going to be using the BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. Normally I would apply a foundation with my fingers first just to kind of warm it up, and then I take a beauty blender to soak up the excess. But for time purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and go straight in with my beauty blender. When I apply my foundation, I like to leave the eye area kind of bare because I'm going to go in with concealer, and I don't like too much product to build up in those areas because it'll tend to look heavy or crease later in the day. So I went ahead and mixed two different shades of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Honey and Vanilla onto the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply that directly to the eye area and other areas that need a little bit more brightening. Once you have blended out the concealer, we can go ahead and set with powder. Today I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the loose form. So my little trick to prevent any creasing or heavy looking concealer is right before I go ahead and set with powder, I take my beauty blender and I just pick up any excess product and then immediately go in after and set. Notice that when I'm applying the powder too, I'm just doing a little pressing motion. I'm not swiping the brush back and forth. Doing that will lift foundation and concealer that you worked so hard to blend. So if you just go ahead and press the brush onto those areas, it'll set it a lot better and it won't cause any texture on the skin, which is really important. I'm just going to be using this chocolatey brown powder to just lightly and naturally fill in my brows. The reason I'm using a brown shadow and not black is because my hair is actually like a dark warm golden brown, even though it looks black sometimes in photos and in the video. So doing a color that suits like the undertones of my hair just looks a lot more natural rather than like a dark black brow. And now we're going to go into bronzing. This is definitely my favorite part of makeup. I think it just adds such definition to a person's bone structure and just really gives you a nice glow. I'm going to be using my all-time favorite bronzer. This is Laguna by NARS. I'm sure all of you have heard of it by now. It is seriously amazing. It goes on everyone. It's just like a really pretty brown, doesn't have any orange to it. A nice little guideline to follow when you're bronzing is think of the number 3. So temples, cheekbone, jawline. So you're going to follow this pattern, and that's where you're going to want to bronze. With that same bronzer, we're going to take a smaller eye blending brush and contour the nose and the eyes. So I'm just softly running the bronzer on the side of my nose and right into the front of the brow, bringing it a little bit forward. We're going to take that same Laguna bronzer, and with that same blending brush we used to contour the nose, we're just going to run the Laguna bronzer into our crease. Hopefully you guys can see the difference in the two eyes. This one has the Laguna bronzer in it, this one doesn't. It's just a really quick way to define your eye without having to like bust out an assortment of products and eyeshadows. We're just using that same bronzer that we did that we used on the rest of our face. I like to define the bottom lash line as well, so I'm going to take a really small brush, like this one from Morphe. It's the 213 brush, and I'm going to take the Laguna bronzer, and I'm just going to run it along the bottom of my lash line to further define my eyes. And believe it or not, we're almost done. We're just going to go in and highlight our skin a little bit, give us more of that glow. I'm going to be using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. I'm going to, today I feel like, shade Incandescent Light to just highlight the high points of my face. I'm using this certain powder because I feel like it's not too dramatic for daytime. I'm going to go ahead and spritz my face with a little Fix Plus. This is just going to make the powders look a lot more natural, more blended, and give myself a more dewy look. I like to do it before mascara, brow gel, or any lip products, because if I do it after, sometimes it tends to run and get messy. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to set my brows in place and just kind of fluff them up a little bit. For mascara, I'm going to be using Armani Black Ecstasy. The reason I'm using this mascara is because it's a mascara that you can add to your lashes later when you already have mascara on, and it won't look heavy or clumpy or flaky. For the bottom lashes, I'm going to be using a different mascara. I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Length. The reason I'm using this one and not the Armani one is because I have really long bottom lashes, so a lot of mascara tends to transfer to my under eye area, and this one is waterproof, so it doesn't do it as much. I don't know if you can see it in the video. It's also really small, so it just fits perfectly for those bottom lashes. For our lips, I'm going to be using the new Anastasia lip gloss in the shade Undressed. These lip glosses, you guys, are seriously so amazing. I wouldn't even consider them a lip gloss. They're more of like a full lip color with high shine. And not to mention, they taste and smell like strawberry shortcake. They're phenomenal. Finally, I'm going to show you one last little trick to make your lashes look fuller but in a very discreet way for a daytime look. I'm going to be using Ico's Making Eyes Gel Liner in the shade Pitch Black. And what I'm basically going to do is a technique called tight lining. So I'm going to take that gel liner and I'm going to run it along the bottom and underneath the upper lashes, in the waterline, and in between each little lash. And that completes our quick and easy daytime look. We're going to go ahead now and transition this into an evening look without having to take any of this makeup off. So if you guys want to see how I do that, make sure you stay tuned for the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!